Salem City Council meet on Thursday, September 9, 2021 at 7 p.m. to hold its regular meeting for the purpose of discussing any and all business via remote participation in accordance with Chapter 20 of the Acts of 2021. Specific information and the general guidelines for remote participation by members of the public and or parties with a right and or requirement to attend this meeting can be found on the city's website at salem.com. No in-person attendance of members of the public will be permitted, but every effort will be made to ensure that the public can adequately access the proceedings in real time via technological means. In the event that we are unable to do so despite best efforts, we will post on the city's website an audio or video recording, transcript, or other comprehensive record of proceedings as soon as possible after the meeting. For this meeting, members of the public who wish to watch, listen, or provide comment, if applicable, during the meeting may do so by following the Zoom link as provided on the agenda, or you can go to the website zoom.us/join and enter meeting webinar ID 873-7098-7827, followed by the meeting password as provided in the agenda. By phone, participants can dial a toll-free number at 877-853-5257 or 888-475-4499. When prompted, enter the meeting webinar ID 873-7098-7827 and follow instructions to join the meeting. For those dialing in, you may press *9 to raise your hand to speak if signed up for public testimony or to participate in the public hearing portion of the agenda if applicable. The meeting is being broadcast live on SATV on channel 22. And it's also being broadcast live on Facebook. Members of the public wishing to speak on the agenda items must follow the how to sign up for public testimony outlined in the agenda. Regular meeting of the City Council was held remotely via Zoom on Thursday, September 9th at 7 p.m. for the purpose of transacting any and all business. Notice of this meeting was posted on September 7th, 2021 at 1:20 p.m. This meeting is being recorded and is live on SATV and Facebook. Councilors absent, none. Council President Madore presided. Councilor Sargent moved to dispense with the reading of the record of the previous meeting. All those in favor? 11 hands. All those opposed? The matter carries. President Madore requests that everyone please rise to recite the Pledge of Allegiance led by Councilor Riccardi.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Public testimony. We have two members signed up for public testimony tonight. First up, we have Farah Wolfson, but I don't believe she is able to join us this evening. She did submit a letter that I will read into the record. September 9, 2021. Thank you, President Madore and members of the City Council. I had hoped to be available for public comment tonight, but I have another commitment and cannot make the City Council meeting. However, I wanted to speak specifically about the proposal by Councilor Flynn regarding raising the Italian flag October 8th to October 22nd. Though I am co-chair of both Salem No Place for Hate and Voices Against Injustice, I am speaking to you as a resident of Salem and as a teacher and as a person who has thought about diversity, equity, and inclusion since I was co-chair of the Human Relations Committee in high school 35 years ago. At that time, I understood some of the aspects of race and racial division and coded language, and despite the fact that we were high school students in a deeply divided community, we found the words to name what was in front of us. And it is in that spirit that I send this message. I am speechless that this resolution appears on the agenda with those dates. We know that there are a myriad of reasons that we should not anchor support around the holiday that is no longer recognized as Columbus Day in Salem. Instead, we should begin to embrace Indigenous Peoples Day and practice some cultural humility and communal growth. Last year, it seemed that many counselors had done their own research on this, but for those who haven't and for those who want to learn more, here is a link to a page of resources from Italian Americans for Indigenous People Day. I believe the website is italiansforipd.org/resources. According to the agenda, Councilor Finn proposed a date, October 8th to October 22nd. We know that Indigenous Peoples Day falls on October 11th. We know that Hispanic Heritage Month is September 15 to October 15. It is not difficult to read between the lines and recognize that this proposal is an insult and assault to communities that have fought to be recognized and celebrated. While recognizing that October is Italian American Heritage Month in the state of Massachusetts, waving Italian flags during Hispanic Heritage Month and Indigenous Peoples Day is code, it is spiteful, and it is absolutely transparent.
Really?
It may be the legacy that Councilor Finn wants to leave for himself, but it is not the legacy that Salem should seek. And it certainly contradicts the pledge which is said at the start of meetings because it is divisive and it counteracts the quest for liberty and justice for all by stomping out the attempts to address deeply troubling historical wrongs. The month cannot be split to wave a flag of one country and one community that will only get conflated with the legacy of a colonizer, an oppressor, and an abuser whose behavior was considered reprehensible even in his own time. There should be recognition of Italian and Italian American culture and the rich legacy of Italian American contributions to Massachusetts and to this country, but not when it tramples on other celebrations and when it will only seem to be an intentional affront to others. It should be when there can be a genuine celebration. Salem will be richer the more we have community-based celebrations of cultures from other continents. However, it is important that we look at the messages that this specific vote would send to Salem and to the broader community. We are better than this. We should be better than this. Is this who we are or who we want to be? I, for one, hope not. Farrah Wolfson, 25 Pickman Road, Salem. And next we have Mr. Jeff Cohen.
Jeff, I'm allowing you to talk. If you can unmute yourself, please, and state your name and address for the record.
Jeff Cohen, 12 Hancock Street, Salem. And I'm speaking regarding the recommendations made by the planning board after the joint meeting with the city council regarding as a board member for Project Out, which seeks to help trans and non-binary people be their authentic selves. I think it's terrific that they recommend gender neutral language amendment for the zoning ordinance, and I hope the council adopts unanimously. I also applaud the planning board's unanimous recommendation to not adopt the moratorium on permits. It would not only be a barrier for homeowners, such as ramps for the disabled, upgrading electric panels for solar and air source heat pumps, but I believe it just took up a lot of time that could be spent on more pressing needs, such as the housing, pandemic, and climate crisis. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Cohen, for taking the time to provide testimony tonight. That concludes public testimony. Before we proceed to our regular business, I want to ask everyone for a moment of silence for our Assistant Madam City Clerk's father, who recently passed away, Mr. James Kidney. Thank you, everyone. I'm sure all of our thoughts are with you, and please let us know if you need anything. Hearings.
We have held from the last meeting of July 15th, 2021, an order from Verizon Wireless to install telecommunications on Bridge Street.
Councilor Riccardi. Oh, I'm sorry. We'll go
Thank you, Madam President. Yep,
We'll
that's okay.
to health,
Yeah.
right? Okay.
I just moved to keep the public hearing open until September 23rd, 2021, due to the continued discussions with the Design Review Board.
Councilor Riccardi moves that this be held until our next meeting on September 23rd. Next, appointments and reappointments.
We have the mayor's appointment of Matthew Malone of 18.5 Pickman Street to the Salem Cultural Council with a term to expire August 25th, 2024. This is for informational purposes only.
Councilor Hapworth.
Thank you, Madam President. I move this be received and filed.
Counselor Happer moves that this be received and filed. All those in favor? See 9, 10 hands. All opposed? The matter is received and filed. Further appointments or reappointments.
We have the mayor's appointment of the following with their terms to expire. Samuel Lim to the Scholarship and Education Committee for a term to expire April 25th, 2022. Gabriel Yeager to the Scholarship and Education Committee for a term to expire September 10th, 2023. And Judith Cohn to the Conservation Commission for a term to expire November 15th, 2021.
Counselor Hapworth.
Thank you, Madam President. I move these be held under the rules until the next meeting of September 23rd, 2021.
Counselor Hapworth moves that this be held until the next meeting on September 23rd. Further appointments and reappointments.
We have held from the last meeting of July 15th, 2021, the appointment of Attorney Zachary Conter to the Planning Board with a term to expire March 10th, 2026.
Counselor McCarthy.
Thank you, Madam President. I move for confirmation by roll call vote.
Counselor McCarthy moves for confirmation by roll call vote. Under discussion?
Thank you, Madam President. I had the pleasure to talk to Attorney Contor earlier in the week, where I'm sad to see my friend leave the planning board. I was happy to talk to Mr. Contor, who seems to have a wealth of knowledge and is very, with a law degree and with his background. He's, as you can see from the letter from the mayor, he's a graduate of UMass Amherst, which is dear to my heart because my boys went there, and he's also a graduate of Maine Law. He's worked for the EPA. He's worked for some, and he currently serves as counsel for the, what was the exact word? He works for the utilities. So I think he's going to bring some great expertise to the board, and I would wholeheartedly move for his confirmation.
Thank you. Any further discussion? Seeing none, Madam City Clerk, please call the roll.
Counselor Torrio?
Yes.
Counselor Sargent?
Yes.
Counselor Riccardi?
Yes.
Counselor Prosnewski?
Yes.
Counselor Marcillo?
yes,
Counselor McCarthy?
Yes.
Counselor Hapworth?
Yes.
Counselor Flynn?
Yes.
Counselor Dominguez?
Yes.
Counselor Dibble?
Yes.
And Counselor Madore.
Yes, on the appointment of Attorney Zachary Conter to the Planning Board, we have 11 counselors voting, 11 affirmative, none in the negative. The matter is carried. Counselor McCarthy.
Thank you, Madam President. I'd like to move for suspension of the rules to allow Mr. Contor to address the council if he so chooses.
Counselor McCarthy moves to suspend the rules to allow Mr. Conter to address the council.
Mr. Conter, you have been muted. If you can unmute yourself, you can go ahead and address the council.
Thank you, Council, and thank you, Councilor McCarthy, for the nomination here. Thank you, Mayor Driscoll, for nominating me for this board. I'm very excited about having the opportunity to work on this board, to work collaboratively with the other planning board members, to find ways that we can improve this entire city, as well as listening to the concerns that of our fellow neighbors. This is a very exciting opportunity, and and just to give just a quick little background, I used to work for the EPA as a law clerk back when I was in law school. I'm currently counsel for the Department of Public Utility for the state. Specifically, I'm with the Transportation Network Company Division. That's the division of the DPU that regulates rideshare companies in Massachusetts, reviews permits for them, regulates drivers and the businesses themselves. Prior to that, I worked as a disability advocate with a company called Citizens Disability in Massachusetts. So I feel like I have a lot to bring to this position, and I look forward to getting to work here. Thank you.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Very happy to have you. Further appointments and reappointments.
Madam President?
Oh.
Sorry. Can we also, to my friend, Mr. Napolitano, who's leaving the board, Could we have a city seal sent to him on behalf of the city for his service? Thank you.
Thank you, Madam City Clerk. If you could arrange that to Mr. Napolitano. Further appointments and reappointments.
We have the mayor's reappointment of Christina Sorensen as a constable with a term to expire on March 8th, 2022. This is for housekeeping purposes only. On the June 10th council meeting, the term was submitted as March 8th, 2024.
Councilor Marcelo.
Thank you, Madam President. I move for adoption.
Councilor Marcelo moves for adoption. All those in favor? See 11 hands. All those opposed, the matter carries. Communications from the mayor.
We have an order that the sum of $612,511.83 is hereby transferred and appropriated from the stabilization fund to the Transportation Enhancement Fund to support citywide on-demand rideshare service and other priority transportation projects in accordance with that recommendation of the mayor.
Councilor Terrio.
Thank you, Madam President. I move for suspension of the rules.
Councilor Terrio moves to suspend the rules.
I object.
Councilor Dibble objects. The matter is
Okay, whatever.
referred to the Committee on Administration and Finance. Further communications from the mayor.
We have an order that the sum of $501,295.63 be approved within the Retirement Stabilization Fund Vacation Sick Leave Buyback Account to be expended for the list of employees below from the Salem Police Department and the Salem Public Schools.
Councilor Terrio.
Thank you, Madam President. I move for suspension of the rules on this one, too.
Councilor Terrio moves to suspend the rules. Seeing no objection, Councilor Terrio.
Thank you, Madam President. I move for adoption by roll call vote.
Councilor Terrio moves for adoption by roll call vote. Under discussion.
Thank you, Madam President. So this is a large number of retirements that took place over the summer, primarily in the public schools and in the police department. And there's a lot of people in there, a lot of familiar names, and we wish them all well.
Any further discussion? Seeing none, Councilor Terrio's motion to adopt by roll call vote. Madam City Clerk, please call the roll.
Councilor Torrio,
Yes.
Councilor Sargent,
Yes.
Councilor Riccardi,
Yes.
Councilor Prosnewski,
Yes.
Councilor Marcillo,
Yes.
Councilor McCarthy,
Yes.
Councilor Hapworth,
Yes.
Councilor Flynn,
Yes.
Councilor Dominguez,
Yes.
Councilor Dibble,
Yes.
and Councilor Madore.
Yes. On the, how many are there?
7.
On the list of,
Oh,
on the preparation for the listed retirements, we have 11 councilors voting, 11 affirmative, none negative, the matter carries. I wish everyone a happy retirement. Further communications from the mayor.
we have a sum of $114,732.58 is hereby appropriated from general stabilization to the HR retro wages account for the fiscal year 2021 and fiscal year 2022 retro wages for the pay increases for the contract settlements reached by ASME Council 93, AFL-CIO Local 818, in accordance with the mayor.
Councilor Terrio.
Thank you, Madam President. Move for suspension of the rules.
Councilor Terrio moves to suspend the rules. Seeing no objection, Councilor Terrio.
Thank you, Madam President. I'd move for adoption by roll call vote.
Councilor Terrio moves for adoption by roll call vote. Under discussion.
Thank you, Madam President. So this is some of the year-end housekeeping that spilled over from July, since we didn't have any other general meetings during the summertime. But this is money being allocated at the end of the fiscal year to retroactively handle some increases in our union contracts. We did a couple other of these at the previous meeting. At this point, any of these are being done out of stabilization because free cash is not yet certified by the state. So any of these transfers right now, including the one that was slated at the very beginning of this, those are all transfers out of stabilization. They all get replenished once free cash is certified. So we, keep the stabilization fund at least the same or larger number. So this is this. There's a couple other actions that are similar, and this is just one of them. Thank you.
Thank you. Any further discussion? Seeing none, Madam City Clerk, please call the roll.
Counselor Torrio,
Yes.
Counselor Sargent,
Yes.
Counselor Riccardi,
Yes.
Counselor Proknowski,
Yes.
Counselor Marcillo,
Yes.
Counselor McCarthy,
Yes.
Counselor Hapworth,
Yes.
Counselor Flynn,
Yes.
Counselor Dominguez,
Yes.
Counselor Dibble,
Yes.
and Counselor Madore.
Yes. On the appropriation to the HR retro wages account, we have 11 councilors voting, 11 affirmative, none in the negative. The matter carries. Further communications from the mayor.
We have an order per Mass General Law, Chapter 44, Section 64, which allows the municipality to pay for prior fiscal year invoices using current fiscal year appropriations by a 2/3 vote of the council. We request the sum of $39,379.67 of outstanding fiscal year 2020, fiscal year 2021 invoices to be allowed to be paid from the fiscal year 2022 school department budget.
Council Terrio.
Thank you, Madam President. Move for suspension of the rules.
Council Terrio moves to suspend the rules. Seeing no objection, Council Terrio.
Thank you, Madam President. I move for adoption by roll call vote.
Council Terrio moves for adoption by roll call vote. Under discussion.
Thank you, Madam President. If you read this in our packets, we're doing a change to bring our practices more in line with norms on Medicaid billing. And this is on the school, this is for Medicaid billing changes on the school departments. This is money that we pay, but it's coming from a different column now, so we have to appropriate it accordingly.
Thank you. Any further discussion? Seeing none on Council Terrio's motion, Madam City Clerk, please call the roll.
Counselor Torrio,
Yes.
Counselor Sargent,
Yes.
Counselor Riccardi,
Yes.
Counselor Proknowski,
Yes.
Counselor Marcillo,
Yes.
Counselor McCarthy,
Yes.
Counselor Hapworth,
Yes.
Counselor Flynn,
Yes.
Counselor Dominguez,
Yes.
Counselor Dibble,
Yes.
and Counselor Madore.
Yes. On the appropriation for payment for the previous fiscal year, we have 11 councilors voting, 11 affirmative, none negative. The matter carries. Further communication from the mayor.
We have an order that the sum of $41,614.72 is hereby transferred and appropriate from the stabilization fund to the school department to pay outstanding fiscal year 2020, 21, and 22 invoices for Medicaid billing.
Council Terrio.
Thank you, Madam President. I move for suspension of the rules.
Council Terrio moves for suspension of the rules. Seeing no objection, Council Terrio.
Thank you, Madam President. I also move for adoption by roll call vote.
Council Terrio moves for adoption by roll call vote. Under discussion.
Thank you, Madam President. This is the other order as part of it. It's two orders. The one we just took and this one are the sum of the actions necessary to take care of correcting the Medicaid billing system.
Thank you. Any further discussion? Seeing none, Madam City Clerk, please call the roll.
Counselor Torrio,
Yes.
Counselor Sargent,
Yes.
Counselor Riccardi,
Yes.
Counselor Proknowski,
Yes.
Counselor Marcillo,
Yes.
Counselor McCarthy,
Yes.
Counselor Hapworth,
Yes.
Counselor Flynn,
Yes.
Counselor Dominguez. Not there.
Yes.
Counselor Dibble,
Yes.
and Counselor Madore.
Yes. On the appropriation, we have 11 councilors voting, 11 in the affirmative, none in the negative. The matter carries. Further communications from the mayor.
We have an order that the sum of $16,181 is hereby appropriated within the capital outlay account to be expended for emergency repair of the dispatch center air conditioning system by the police department.
Council Terrio.
Thank you, Madam President. I move for suspension of the rules.
Council Terrio moves to suspend the rules. Seeing no objection, Council Terrio.
Thank you, Madam President. I'll also note that Councilor Proknowski has recused himself in this matter, I believe. But I also move for adoption by roll call vote.
Council Terrio moves for adoption by roll call vote. Under discussion.
Thank you, Madam President. This is to replenish the funding for the capital maintenance in the police station. They had the unanticipated expense of basically a catastrophic failure of the air conditioning unit that handles their dispatch center. And so that repair exhausts most of the money that's in their account for what they thought would be more routine repair. So this is to replenish.
Thank you. Any further discussion? Councilor Dibble.
Thank you, Madam President. I just want to point out that this AC unit is just over 30 years old. I think we got our money's worth out of this. It's a huge expense, but this is something I can easily approve here tonight with you all.
Any further discussion? Seeing none, Madam City Clerk, please call the roll.
Council Torrio,
Yes.
Council Sargent,
Yes.
Council Riccardi,
Yes.
Council Marcello,
Yes.
Council McCarthy,
Yes.
Council Hapworth,
Yes.
Council Flynn,
Yes.
Council Dominguez,
Yes.
Council Dibble,
Yes.
and Council Madore.
Yes. On the appropriation from the capital outlay account to the police department, we have 10 councilors voting, 10 affirmative, 1 recused. The matter carries. Let the record show that Council Persniewski has returned. Further communications from the mayor.
We have an order that the sum of $15,000 is hereby transferred and appropriated from the receipts reserve funds listed below to the Department of Public Services burial account.
Councilor Terrio.
Thank you, Madam President. I move for suspension of the rules.
Councilor Terrio moves to suspend the rules. Seeing no objection, Councilor Terrio.
Thank you, Madam President. I move for adoption by roll call vote.
Councilor Terrio moves for adoption by roll call vote. Under discussion.
Thank you, Madam President. This is a routine transfer of the sort that we do several times a year for the burial department to fund operations.
Thank you. Any further discussion? Seeing none, Madam City Clerk, please call the roll.
Council Torrio,
Yes.
Council Sargent,
Yes.
Council Riccardi,
Yes.
Council Prosniewski,
Yes.
Council Marcello,
Yes.
Council McCarthy,
Yes.
Council Hapworth,
Yes.
Council Flynn,
Yes.
Council Dominguez,
Yes.
Council Dibble,
Yes.
and Council Madore.
Yes. On the appropriation to the Public Services Burial Account, we have 11 councilors voting, 11 affirmative, none negative. The matter carries. Further communications from the mayor.
We have an order that the sum of $11,250 is hereby appropriated from the Retirement Stabilization Fund Vacation Sick Leave Buyback Account to be extended for negotiated sick leave buyback provisions for active employees as needed.
Councilor Terrio.
Thank you, Madam President. I move for suspension of the rules.
Councilor Terrio moves to suspend the rules. Seeing no objection, Councilor Terrio.
Thank you, Madam President. I move for adoption by roll call vote.
Councilor Terrio moves for adoption by roll call vote. Under discussion.
Thank you, Madam President. This is exactly what it was described as. We were doing some sick leave buybacks, and this is the account we used to do it.
Thank you. Any further discussion? Seeing none, Madam City Clerk, please call the roll.
Council Torrio,
Yes.
Council Sargent,
Yes.
Council Riccardi,
Yes.
Council Prosniewski,
Yes.
Council Marcello,
Yes.
Council McCarthy,
Yes.
Council Hapworth,
Yes.
Council Flynn,
Yes.
Council Dominguez,
Yes.
Council Dibble,
Yes.
and Council Madore.
Yes, on the appropriation for sick leave buyback for active employees, we have 11 councilors voting, 11 affirmative, none in the negative. The matter carries. Further communications from the mayor.
We have an order that the sum of $10,000 is hereby transferred from the assessing department's full-time salary account to the assessing department's contracted services account below to cover temporary assistance for fiscal year 2022 due to department personnel turnover.
Councilor Terrio.
Thank you, Madam President. I move for suspension of the rules.
Councilor Terrio moves to suspend the rules. Seeing no objection, Councilor Terrio.
Thank you, Madam President. I move for adoption by roll call vote.
Councilor Terrio moves for adoption by roll call vote. Under discussion.
To put it simply, we've had a couple of retirements in the assessing department. We're not paying out the salaries, but they've brought in some temps to help out with the workload. So we have to move it into contracted services in order to be able to pay them.
Thank you. Any further discussion? Seeing none on the motion, Madam City Clerk, please call the roll.
Council Torrio,
Yes.
Council Sargent,
Yes.
Council Riccardi,
Yes.
Council Prosniewski,
Yes.
Council Marcello,
Yes.
Council McCarthy,
Yes.
Council Hapworth,
Yes.
Council Flynn,
Yes.
Council Dominguez,
Yes.
Council Dibble,
Yes.
and Council Madore.
Yes. On the appropriation to cover temp assistance, we have 11 councilors voting, 11 affirmative, none in the negative. The matter carries. Further communications from the mayor.
We have an order that the sum of $4,000 be hereby appropriated from the following receipts reserved account to be transferred to the golf course contracted services for electrical work.
Counselor Terrio.
Thank you, Madam President. Move for suspension of the rules.
Counselor Terrio moves to suspend the rules. Seeing no objection, Counselor Terrio.
Thank you, Madam President. Move for adoption by roll call vote.
Counselor Terrio moves for adoption by roll call vote. Under discussion,
Thank you, Madam President. This is, as it's explained in our packets, this is to do some electrical work in order to replace the entrance conduit and the service mast at their maintenance building. So it's a fairly routine operation.
thank you. Any further discussion? Seeing none on the motion, Madam City Clerk, please call the roll.
Counselor Terrio.
Yes.
Counselor Sargent.
Yes.
Counselor Riccardi.
Yes.
Counselor Prosnewski.
Yes.
Counselor Marcello.
yes,
Counselor McCarthy.
Yes.
Counselor Hapworth.
Yes.
Counselor Flynn.
Yes.
Counselor Dominguez.
Yes.
Counselor Dibble.
Yes.
And Counselor Madore.
Yes. On the appropriation to the golf course account, we have 11 counselors voting, 11 affirmative, none in the negative. The matter carries. Further communications from the mayor.
We have an order to accept the donation from It Starts With Me from Melanie McKinnon in the amount of $3,175 for the veteran donation account. Veteran.
Counselor Terrio.
Thank you, Madam President. I move for adoption by roll call vote.
Counselor Terrio moves for adoption by roll call vote. Under discussion,
Thank you, Madam President. For those of you who don't know Melanie McKinnon and her charity that she operates, It Starts With Me, she does a tremendous amount of work to do fundraising. And at this time of year also, she'll be hitting social media to start organizing for her pet project, which is to provide Thanksgiving meals to literally hundreds of people in Salem and surrounding communities. It's a massive project that she, friends, and family members help her with every year, and there's regular deliveries of food and turkeys and all sorts of stuff to Pickman Park every year. So she does a lot of work to raise funds. She does a lot of work for this, and this is just another example of her giving back, and we're very grateful for it.
thank you. Any further discussion? Seeing none, Madam City Clerk, please call the roll.
Counselor Terrio.
Yes.
Counselor Sargent.
Yes.
Counselor Riccardi.
Yes.
Counselor Prosnewski.
Yes.
Counselor Marcello.
yes,
Counselor McCarthy.
Yes.
Counselor Hapworth.
Yes.
Counselor Flynn.
Yes.
Counselor Dominguez.
Yes.
Counselor Dibble.
Yes.
And Counselor Madore.
Yes, on acceptance of the donation from Ms. McKinnon, we have 11 counselors voting, 11 affirmative, none negative. The matter carries. Appreciate the donation. Further communications.
We have an order to accept the donation of $1,950 from Lawrence Blanchard. The donation is to be deposited at the Parks and Rec's donation fund for a classic series bench at the Salem Common or within the historic district.
Counselor Terrio.
Thank you, Madam President. I move for adoption by roll call vote.
Counselor Terrio moves for adoption by roll call vote. Under discussion,
Thank you, Madam President. This is another very generous donation that we've had a number of these that have been used to fund bench purchases, and I believe we've had a few of those recently as well. And so, Mr. Blanchard, that's very kind of him, and we appreciate it. Thank you.
thank you. Any further discussion? Seeing none, Madam City Clerk, please call the roll.
Counselor Terrio.
Yes.
Counselor Sargent.
Yes.
Counselor Riccardi.
Yes.
Counselor Prosnewski.
Yes.
Counselor Marcello.
yes,
Counselor McCarthy.
Yes.
Counselor Hapworth.
Yes.
Counselor Flynn.
Yes.
Counselor Dominguez.
Yes.
Counselor Dibble.
Yes.
And Counselor Madore.
Yes, on acceptance of the donation from Mr. Blanchard, we have 11 counselors voting, 11 affirmative, none negative. The matter carries. Further communications.
We have an order to accept the donation from Friends of the Salem Council on Aging in the amount of $1,200. This donation is to cover expenses for the Heritage Week picnics for Salem seniors.
Counselor Terrio.
Thank you, Madam President. I move for adoption by roll call vote.
Counselor Terrio moves for adoption by roll call vote. Under discussion.
Thank you, Madam President. This and another contribution that is we have one separating it are just a couple of examples of the things that the council, the Salem Friends of the Council on Aging, do every year to fund activities and help support our senior population, and they're an integral part of keeping our senior center operating as well. So This was for the Heritage Week picnics, and then they're also funding for people who have trouble affording some of the classes and activities as well. So they're doubly kind to us today.
Thank you, and I assume Councilor Flynn is asking for recusal?
What's that?
You're asking about recusal because it's Councilor?
Well, I first I wanted to thank the Friends of the Council for their hard work and what they do for us senior citizens in Salem. But I did want to ask if on these two issues, if I would have to recuse myself with a relative working down there.
If you would like to recuse yourself, that would be okay.
Would it be all right with the city clerk for me to vote on that? I'd rather vote on it if I can, but I don't want to do anything if it's not appropriate.
It's a donation. It's not affecting an employee's salary, so it's a donation for something else. So it is fine.
Okay, thank you very much.
Yes, Councilor, you should be legal for this.
All right, thank you.
Councilor Dominguez.
Thank you, Madam President. I want to echo the good comments for the Friends of Person on Aging. We just came from a beautiful event that they had today, fundraising down in Winter Island. And we want to thank in particular the whole committee that put that event together, very well organized. And I think they have a good result. So I encourage the general public to continue to support the Council on Aging event. They might have another one, according to what I hear from his president, Andy Lapointe. And I just want to thank them publicly for the work that they do, what they put every year on those type of events. Thank you.
Thank you. Any further discussion? Councilor Dibble.
Thank you, Madam President. I'd have to echo those words by the good, that large councilor. Today's fundraiser by the Friends of the Council on Aging down at Winter Island Park was not only enjoyable, but it was pretty informational. They had our historian, Jim McAllister. I don't know if you've heard him talk, but he is amazing. I've taken many classes of him, but he did a whole presentation today before the seniors and others who were raising money today for the our senior center, community life center. And what the Friends of the Council on Aging, what they do in their energy is just phenomenal for our seniors. And a big thank you needs to go to them. So thank you, Madam President.
Thank you. Any further discussion? Seeing none, Madam City Clerk, please call the roll.
Councilor Torrio?
Yes.
Councilor Sargent?
Yes.
Councilor Riccardi?
Yes.
Councilor Presnowski?
Yes.
Councilor Marcello?
Yes.
Councilor McCarthy?
Yes.
Councilor Hapworth?
Yes.
Councilor Flynn?
Yes.
Councilor Dominguez?
Yes.
Councilor Dibble?
Yes.
And Councilor Madore?
Yes. On acceptance of the donation from Friends of the Salem Council on Aging, we have 11 councilors voting, 11 affirmative, none negative. The matter carries. Further communications.
We have an order to accept the donation of $1,000 from Mary Ann Manning from Bertram Field fundraising. The donation is to be deposited into the Bertram Field donation fund.
Councilor Terrio.
Thank you, Madam President. I move for adoption by roll call vote.
Councilor Terrio moves for adoption by roll call vote. Under discussion.
Thank you, Madam President. Again, this is we have a lot of support from residents for our activities and for our facilities, and this is a very nice donation from Ms. Manning.
Thank you. Any further discussion? Being none, Madam City Clerk, please call the roll.
Councilor Torrio?
Yes.
Councilor Sargent?
Yes.
Councilor Riccardi?
Yes.
Councilor Presnowski?
Yes.
Councilor Marcello?
Yes.
Councilor McCarthy?
Yes.
Councilor Hapworth?
Yes.
Councilor Flynn?
Yes.
Councilor Dominguez?
Yes.
Councilor Dibble?
Yes.
And Councilor Madore?
Yes. On acceptance of the donation from Ms. Manning, we have 11 councilors voting, 11 affirmative, none negative. The matter carries. Final communication from the mayor.
We have an order to accept the donation from Friends of the Salem Council on Aging in the amount of $1,000 to cover expenses for Council on Aging seniors who cannot afford to pay for programs.
Councilor Terrio.
Thank you, Madam President. I move for adoption by roll call vote.
Councilor Terrio moves for adoption by roll call vote. Under discussion.
Thank you, Madam President. I already said all the wonderful things about them before, but this is just more of their giving. Thank you.
Thank you. Any further discussion? Seeing none, Madam City Clerk, please call the roll.
Councilor Torrio?
Yes.
Councilor Sargent?
Yes.
Councilor Riccardi?
Yes.
Council Presnewski,
Yes.
Council Marcello,
Yes.
Council McCarthy,
Yes.
Council Hapworth,
Yes.
Council Flynn,
Yes.
Council Dominguez,
Yes.
Council Dibble,
Yes.
and Council Madore.
Yes, on acceptance of the donation from Friends of the Salem Council on Aging, we have 11 councilors voting, 11 affirmative, none negative, the matter carries. Mayor's informational page, none. Motions, orders, and resolutions. Councilor Marcello.
I'm going to let Councilor Turiel do this.
Thank you, Madam President.
Councilor Turiel.
Thank you, Councilor. We have a ordinance relative to traffic, chapter 42, sections 51, 51B, and 75. Be it ordained by the City Council of the City of Salem as follows, and there's a lot of it, so I wouldn't mind if somebody asked to waive the reading.
Move to waive the reading.
Thank you. With that, I will move for adoption for first passage by roll call vote.
Councilor Turiel moves for adoption for first passage by roll call vote. Under discussion?
Thank you, Madam President. So this lengthy change here is because in trying to figure out how we could deal with problems with traffic and parking by the Hocus Pocus house down at the inner end of Ocean Avenue and Shore Avenue, when they did the research to figure out what they could ticket, it turned out that that was actually a free-for-all for parking down there. The resident-only parking did not extend that far down. So this is to remove the free-for-all and rephrase everything so that that area is now resident parking, which will allow us to enforce better keeping people away from that house in October especially. So it's to fix a traffic problem that has shown up in spades the last few years.
Thank you. Any further discussion? Seeing none, on Councilor Turiel's motion for adoption for first passage, Madam City Clerk, please call the roll.
Council Turiel,
Yes.
Council Sargent,
Yes.
Council Riccardi,
Yes.
Council Presnewski,
Yes.
Council Marcello,
Yes.
Council McCarthy,
Yes.
Council Hapworth,
Yes.
Council Flynn,
Yes.
Council Dominguez,
Yes.
Council Dibble,
Yes.
and Council Madore.
Yes, on adoption of the ordinance, we have, for first passage, we have 11 councilors voting, 11 affirmative, none in the negative, the matter carries. Further orders, motions, and resolutions. Councilor Presnewski.
Thank you, Madam President. Order that the residents of the following streets shall be granted eligibility for temporary resident permit parking, and certain streets shall be designated as temporary resident permit parking streets from October 1st to November 1st of this year. Eligible residents will have a temporary resident parking permit sent to them in the mail and must display the permit following the written instructions included with said permit. One temporary guest pass shall be issued, if requested, in accordance with Article VA Section 75A subsection C. Temporary resident parking permit signage will be installed on said streets. Temporary October resident permit parking shall be in effect from 5 p.m. to 7 a.m. Monday through Friday, and from 12 p.m. to 7 a.m. on Saturdays and Sundays, October 1st to November 1st. Temporary October resident parking shall occur on the street in the existing parking areas and shall not supersede other parking restrictions, including but not limited to handicap or accessible parking spaces, parking within 4 feet of a driveway, parking within 20 feet of an intersection, or parking restricted on certain sides of the street. This temporary signage shall be installed before October 1st, indicating streets designated as temporary October resident permit parking streets, and all parking shall be prohibited during the hours indicated, except by motor vehicles displaying a temporary October resident parking permits. And the streets are as follows: Barton Place, Beacon Street, Bridge Street from Webb Street to Beacon Street, Broad Street from Dalton Parkway to Jackson Street, Cabot Street from Gardner Street to Hancock Street, Chestnut Street from Cambridge Street to Summer Street, Collins Street, Conan Street, Cross Street Court, Cross Street from Saunders Street to Conan Street, Dalton Parkway, East Collins Street from Barton Street to Beacon Street, Essex Street from Flint Street to Boston Street, Fowler Street, Gardner Street, Hancock Street from Cabot Street to Lafayette Street, Harrington Court, North Pine Street, Pearl Street, Prince Street Place, Saunders Street, South Pine Street, and Warner Street. And I move that this be adopted by roll call vote. Thank you, Madam President.
Thank you, Counselor, for reading that whole list. Counselor Persniewski moves for adoption by roll call vote. Under discussion. Counselor Musillo.
Thank you, Madam President. I would just like to make a small amendment to the Dalton Parkway, and I would like to make that resident-only parking from 14 to 18 Dalton Parkway on the even side and leave the whole odd side as resident-only parking. The reason for that is that the even side of the street is mostly the backs of houses, and so no one parks there anyways, anytime, and so it's not really causing an issue if we have people park there during October. Thank you.
Is that a motion? Counselor Murpillo moves to amend number 11 Dalton Parkway to odd side.
Yep.
And,
Plus 14 to 18 on the even side.
and 14 to 18 on the even side only.
Thank you.
Is there a second?
Second.
Second.
Seconded by Counselor McCarthy. Under discussion. Seeing none on Counselor Marcillo's amendment, all those in, should we do a roll call on that, Madam City Clerk?
You can vote that, and then when you do the final,
Okay.
we can adopt it by roll call vote after all the amendments.
Okay, so the first amendment is on Dalton. Counselor Dominguez.
Thank you, Madam President. I'm in total agreement with the list that we just heard from the good Councilor Bernowski and the amendment that the good Councilor Ward 3 made. But I feel that there might be other streets that need to be included in the list. I understand that this is very important, but I hear a lot of other concerns in some other neighborhood about the same issue, parking during Halloween and during the peak time that we have here in Salem. So my recommendation, if I may, is to maybe discuss a little bit further and see if we can add any other street to the list who have the same, some neighborhood who have the same situation, adjacent basically to the downtown area. Because just a few days ago, I was approached by some of the residents in some area asking me for the same residential parking during Halloween. So my question is it possible that we can add any other street at this point, or keep it, or discuss it further in a way to see if there's appropriate to add those streets that some residents asking for?
So Councilor Dominguez, just to recap for everybody, since last year went by a blur, all those streets that we had allowed for October resident parking only, we did it by order, but last year we decided to add it to the ordinance. This is not the full list that has October resident parking, since we had codified many streets into the ordinance as a permanent October resident parking pass. So what you see on the agenda tonight is not the full list. Just want to remind everybody of that.
Thank you for the clarification. Thanks.
Then the reason why we're adding these lists is because myself as a ward counselor, and I believe other ward counselors have been getting some feedback on additional streets, because if you add more streets, they push the parking out even further, and it's not possible for us to cover the entire city with resident parking. So we decided to add some of these side streets to expand the zone a little bit. But the majority of the streets, if you had seen in the packet, the map, it's very clear. It covers a pretty wide area of the city, all of downtown. And the downtown residents who must purchase parking lot permits as part of their condo agreements. Their October month passes also were codified last year, so that program is permanent. So they have a secure space on the roof of the Museum Place garage. I actually was contacted by a constituent about it a few days ago, and I told her, and she was very happy. So that's actually all permanent, making some tweaks. I hope that covers your question, Councilman Dominguez. Okay, great. I saw other hands. Councilor McCarthy.
Thank you, Madam President, and thank you for the clarification. Been working on this issue a couple times today, and for anyone who lives on the section of Derby Street across from the old oil tank farm, when we went and tweaked the resident sticker parking program, we made that section of Derby Street resident parking from 5 p.m. to 7 a.m. or 8 a.m. In order to allow for availability when people got home from work, but it also is still covered under the list that you just referred to. So the signs just started to go up, but people were taken aback because the city didn't notify them of the potential change. So to give them time to adjust, the October passes will still be going out this year for that section of Derby Street as they went out previously, and then we'll work through the issue of implementing the permanent program after October 30th. But I had a couple conversations with Mr. Kucharski today, and as was stated, these streets are just filling in some of the quote-unquote voids. So hopefully that will work. Thank you.
Thank you. I agree that we need to let DPS plenty of time to put up those signs because there's a lot of signage they have to put up. So as much time as we can give them by adopting this as quickly as possible, the more helpful it will be for DPS. Councillor Kwasniewski.
Thank you, Madam President. I would like to move to suspend the rules to allow our traffic enforcement and parking director, David Kucharski, to speak. I also had discussion about the streets and some of the issues. He did a great job of answering a lot of the concerns that I had and some of my constituents have had, especially around the public library and the reason for the hours changes on these orders. So I think David would be much better in explaining this so that the public can hear exactly how much work and effort went into tweaking to try to benefit the parking situation in Salem.
Thank you. Councillor Kwasniewski moves to suspend the rules to allow Mr. Kucharski to address the council. Seeing no objection, Mr. Kucharski.
Thank you, Madam President. As was stated last year, we did codify a lot of the streets that were previously under past ordinances and orders, and we cleaned that up and worked with the Traffic and Park Commission as well as council to ensure that we made expectations not just for residents, visitors, but also for DPS so they know where these signs were going each year. I know that there are still some questions about certain areas. Councilor Kwasniewski did identify Essex Street as one of them. We're always trying to balance the different needs that are going on in the city. I'd say this particular area is one of the more challenging ones given that we have the library there. But it's important to note that there are sections on Essex that are still available to the public and that we are having certain times when the resident parking is being enforced, the October portion that is. So those were a lot of things that we were hearing throughout the past previous years, even before the pandemic, that sort of having this 24/7 resident parking hindered people using public service buildings, including the library, as well as those who are coming during the day to provide medical care, hospice, things of that nature. So we're really trying to listen to the public and tweak it each year and improve upon it. So these additional streets before you in the order is an attempt to further address some issues that we've heard. And my hope is that if we feel that these streets work, to return to you later in the year to add them to Section 75A, which is in the ordinance, So again, moving forward, the residents, visitors, staff, council, DPS, everyone will know that these are the streets. Each year, we'll be able to issue passes to the residents and put the signage up in a timely manner.
Thank you. Any questions for Mr. Kucharski or further comments? Councillor Sargent, if you could assume the chair.
I'm assuming the chair. Council President Madore.
Thank you, Mr. President. I just want to make an amendment to remove number 7 Collins Street and also amend number 12 East Collins Street from Barton Street to Beacon Street to West Side only. And the reason for these two amendments is because we did hear from a resident who lives in the Bridge Street neighborhood. He shared his observation that if Collins Street becomes resident only, then the visitor parking will push up further into the neighborhood up north. And he hasn't really seen any issues in the past when Collins Street was not designated as resident parking because most people have driveways there. However, on East Collins Street, the west side is the residential side, whereas the east side is mostly the park. And there are no houses facing on that side. So I would amend it to just west side only.
Thank you, Madam President. Under discussion, I would you call on anybody if they raise their hand because I can't see everybody on my screen?
Okay. So how about
Second.
second by Councilor McCarthy?
No,
Second by Councilor McCarthy. Under discussion. Seeing none. Councilor Sargent.
Thank you, Madam President. Forward to Council Madore. On the amendment, I don't know if we're going to call the roll or do a hand vote on the amendment.
So let's take all 3 amendments together. If you want to recognize me as chair again.
So recognized.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. President. All right, so we have 3 amendments. First, from Councilor Marcillo to amend number 11 Dalton Parkway to odd side and even side numbers 14 to 18 only. From myself, number 7, remove Collins Street and remove East Collins Street. Amend East Collins Street from Barton to Beacon Streets, west side only. So, any further discussions on those 3 amendments? Want me to read it again? No, okay. On the amendment, Madam City Clerk, please call the roll on the 3 amendments altogether.
Councilor Torrio,
Yes.
Councilor Sargent,
Yes.
Councilor Riccardi,
Yes.
Councilor Kwasniewski,
Yes.
Councilor Marcello,
Yes.
Councilor McCarthy,
Yes.
Councilor Hapworth,
Yes.
Councilor Flynn,
Yes.
Councilor Dominguez,
Yes.
Councilor Dibble,
Yes.
and Councilor Madore.
Yes, on the 3 amendments, we have 11 councilors voting, 11 affirmative, none in the negative, the mayor carries. On the motion to adopt by roll call vote, any further discussion? Seeing none, Madam City Clerk, please call the roll.
Councilor Torrio,
Yes.
Councilor Sargent,
Yes.
Councilor Riccardi,
Yes.
Councilor Kwasniewski,
Yes.
Councilor Marcello,
Yes.
Councilor McCarthy,
Yes.
Councilor Hapworth,
Yes.
Councilor Flynn,
Yes.
Councilor Dominguez,
Yes.
Councilor Dibble,
Yes.
and Councilor Madore.
Yes, on the order to designate temporary October resident parking on these following streets, we have, as amended, we have 11 councilors voting, 11 affirmative, none negative. The mayor carries. That was so much easier than previous years.
Thank you.
Thank you. Further motions, orders, and resolutions. Councilor Turrio.
Thank you, Madam President. City of Salem City Council ordered parking rates for the location identified below shall be $1 per hour. Canal Street, temporary parking meter zone established both sides from the intersection with Lime Street to a point approximately 250 feet south of the intersection with Washington Street, Mill Street, October 1st to October 31st, 2021, Saturday through Sunday, 12 p.m. to 6 p.m. Residents may park for free during these times, but must register with the Passport Parking app. And I move for adoption by roll call vote.
Council Terrio moves for adoption by roll call vote. Under discussion?
Thank you, Madam President. This is a way to try and deal with, again, with the neighborhood spillover that we get. We can use Canal Street as temporary meter parking for people out of town and let people who live in Salem use the spaces for free. And this takes that area, that temporary area, down as far as Lime Street. And then after that, we go back to unrestricted parking. So, as has been said in the rest of this discussion, this is a way to have a little bit more paid visitor parking spillover without hopefully impacting the neighborhood, and by allowing the neighborhood to park for free during the busy times as well.
Thank you. Councilor Dominguez.
Thank you, Madam President. I think this is a good thing. It's a tryout that needs to be a twist that I think, but I got some concern on the passport parking application. As you might know, not everybody's a technological handy man, especially we can see the elderly population not be able to have access to the app. Can we provide any other alternative for those residents who might not be able to download the app? Because we're going to hear a lot of concern. A lot of people might not be able to. So if this is a tryout, we want to make sure that everybody is being fairly represented in the result. So can we have anything else that allow those residents to park free during this tryout period?
Thank you.
I'm in favor of this, but I want to see some alleviation for those people who do not really handle the technology the way everybody does. Thank you.
Thank you. Understood. Councilor Terrio, do you have a response?
I can speak to this very quickly, and then of course Mr. Kucharski is still on the session here, so we can suspend the rules again. But the stretch from Mill to Lime Street doesn't really have residences on it, so it's not, and the parking is not an issue generally for people in town who are dealing with parking. It's not really a resident parking area normally. So this is only for a short stretch of the busiest days of the weekends themselves, Saturday and Sunday. And it really affects primarily people who are parking there to walk into town because it's easy and convenient and a short walk, or people who are parking to go to the handful of businesses there, like the distillery, or maybe even down to down as far as Sidelines. But once you get to Lime Street, it goes back to unrestricted parking. So it's a pretty short distance. There's no other really, we've tried a couple of different ways of doing it in the past, and in years past that didn't work as well as this. This is a pretty simple way, and just about everybody has some sort of smartphone at this point. So, it's an easy way to park for free, and people are already using it to take advantage of the discounted parking in some of our kiosk lots as well. So I think this is a reasonable thing to try for the month. And if Mr. Kucharski knows of an alternative way for people to register that's great, but we can ask. So with that, I'll ask to suspend the rules again to allow Mr. Kucharski back in.
Councilor Terrio moves to suspend the rules to allow Mr. Kucharski to address the council. Seeing no objection, Mr. Kucharski.
Thank you, Madam President. I don't believe that the Passport app currently allows someone to book a stay using even a flip phone. I'd have to confirm that, but I'm pretty certain that is not the case. And I don't know if there wouldn't be sufficient time to get something else in place for this. Like Councilor Terrio said, this is a trial period. It's Saturdays and Sundays only for a certain amount of time. If we're finding that there are issues with it, we could certainly work with residents to try to find something else that works for them in the future. But I don't believe that, given the timing, we'd have something in place before next month.
Thank you, Councilor Presniewski.
President, directing my question to David Kucharski. David, in the event that a resident parks there, and in the event that a resident doesn't have the app and gets a ticket, would your office show consideration and take the ticket back if they proved residency?
Through you, Madam President, certainly that's something I'd also need to work with the collector's office, as they're responsible for doing appeals. But I'd work with the collector's office to get the proper documentation to show that they were a resident, and if that's the case, we'd work together to appeal the ticket or rescind the ticket. Excuse me.
Thank you. Councilor Flynn, you had your hand up?
Thank you, Madam President. That was my exact question. I was just going to ask. Thank you.
Thank you. Councilor Dominguez.
Thank you, Madam President. I had a follow-up question to you, to David, Transit Director. What would be the good result that we're looking for? I mean, what will be the indication that this work or no work? I mean, as many of maybe residents who might not be ticketed, or what would be the measurement that you take to see if that pilot program will work or not? You have any idea?
Mr. Kucharski.
Thank you, Madam President. I think we'd have to see what the utilization would be for those weekends, as well as compliance. So we certainly would be tracking not only those who, that's something we have in the back end. There's an onboard dashboard program that we have access to, so we can see that we're working to work with Passport to create its own zone. So we'd be able to pull the information on when people are starting parking sessions. Plus, we'd be looking at citations that might have been issued. And then we could evaluate whether the time and resources we put into establishing it makes sense, and whether or not we want to revisit it in the following year. So that's certainly something we're going to be looking at the end of the month if we do vote to implement this.
And if I may, Madam President, follow up.
I'll recognize you for one more time, Councilor Dominguez.
If I mean, if you're gonna vote for this right now, but what channel are you gonna use to communicate this to the residents that it's gonna be taking place? How will you communicate to the entire residents area that this is gonna be ineffective on October 1st to 31st? How they know that will take place?
Madam President, through you, we'd be putting out information with the mayor's office, but we're also working on signage that would be going up throughout the entire area. We're working with DPS to get that signage fabricated and installed before the month. We've already started. We have a design in place, anticipating that hopefully council does proceed with this. So it would be, the whole area would be signed. And again, we'd be putting information out through the mayor's office and other social media accounts, even working with Destination Salem and others to get this out there.
Thank you. Any further discussion? Councilor Sargent.
Thank you, Madam President. If somebody doesn't have the app, would it be possible to put a note with the ticket that says, if you're from Salem, send a photocopy of your registration instead of payment? So when you would normally mail in your payment, there's a copy of your registration which shows you live in Salem. So something like that might just, head off the ticket.
Mr. Kucharski.
Madam President, the question be clarified? You're saying, can a resident put their registration on their dashboard when they park their vehicle if they're unable to do the parking session through the app?
No, I didn't say that, but I suppose that's an idea. What I was saying, if you get a ticket, normally you send in payment for the ticket. Instead of payment, you just send in a photocopy of your registration, which shows you live in Salem, and that would nullify the ticket. Is that possible?
I believe that is the case. I'd have to, again, speak to collector's office because they're the ones that receive the appeals. But I think that when they appeal it, they provide information indicating the reason for the appeal. And in this case, it would be that they are a resident and they were unable to download the app. So I think that is feasible, but I can confirm that with the collector's office.
Well, plus, a lot of the people that don't know about the app won't realize that Salem residents don't have to pay. So they're just, a lot of people might get the ticket and just pay it because they just don't know. They're not that savvy enough on the, the new technology. So with the ticket, would it be that hard to photocopy a bunch of little slips that say, if you're a Salem resident, here's the directions on what to do?
Final response, Mr.
You're saying that when a ticket is issued, if we provide instructions to the person getting it?
Yes, because that way somebody that's older and not savvy with all these apps and not knowledgeable, that most times when you get a ticket, you realize, you think you got a ticket, you have to pay it. You don't do the research into seeing that there's an app available or that for Salem residents. It's not, is it going to be posted Salem residents free? I just want it to be clear to Salem residents that it's free to them. And if they get a ticket, here's how they can appeal it, and so they don't pay it needlessly.
Through you, Madam President, the signs that I mentioned earlier will be designed similar to what you might find at Church Street lot or other lots that have the kiosk for the app, which indicates what the hours of enforcement would be, what the rate is, and then it would indicate free for residents, but they must register with the Passport app, and we have the Passport logo on the signs. So that's our attempt to make it as clear as possible. In terms of providing some instructions, I can look to see if that's even something that we could apply to the handhelds when a ticket is issued, or if it's something that we ask enforcement to put with the ticket when they put it on someone's windshield. So I can certainly look at that.
All right, as long as it's clear to everybody, even those who aren't too savvy on how to use apps. Thank you.
Thank you. I believe this stretch of 250 feet, there are only 2 residential structures along the street, so any residents impacted, I'm sure Councilor Turrio will hear about it, but most of this area are businesses or the train tracks, so I'm going to move on, and on Councilor Turrio's motion for adoption, Madam City Clerk, please call the roll.
Councilor Torrio?
Yes.
Councilor Sargent?
Yes.
Councilor Riccardi?
Yes.
Councilor Presnewski?
Yes.
Councilor Marcillo?
Yes.
Councilor McCarthy?
Yes.
Councilor Hapworth?
Yes.
Councilor Flynn?
Yes.
Councilor Dominguez?
Yes.
Councilor Dibble?
Yes.
And Councilor Medora.
Yes. On the trial temporary parking meter zone on Canal Street, we have 11 councilors voting, 11 affirmative, none negative. The matter carries. Further motions, orders, and resolutions. Councilor Flynn.
Thank you, Madam President. Ordered that the Italian flag be displayed at Raleigh Plaza from October 8th through the 22nd in honor of the Italian American Heritage and Cultural Month. And I move for adoption by roll call vote.
Councilor Flynn moves for adoption by roll call vote. Under discussion.
Thank you, Madam President. This is something that I've brought in the last several years, and we've always been able to do this. I want to be crystal clear. This is not about Christopher Columbus Day. This is about honoring our Italian Americans due to being Italian American Heritage and Cultural Month. As I said before, Italians in our city have contributed since day one. They've done so much. They still work for many of our city departments, teachers, police, fire, DPW, and so on. And I'm a little taken back by the public testimony letter by Ms. Wolfson. I believe that we should treat everyone equally and fairly. I just picked some dates here. I understand that it might overlap with recognizing Hispanic Heritage Month. I'm trying to work in so that we can recognize everyone. It's not set in stone as far as the dates, and we can discuss that right here. But again, in Salem, the Salem that I grew up in, we recognize everyone. And in this month, it would be a travesty if we can't fly the flag for our Italian Americans in our city. And that's about all. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Counselor. Any further discussion? Counselor Dominguez.
Thank you, Madam President. I have to agree with the good Councilor Warford. I think that we need to be equal for everyone, and celebrating the Italian American is just another way of representing who we are here in Salem. I don't see any implication with Christopher Columbus. I'm a descendant from the Dominican Republic, and we always welcome and celebrate every community. So based on that, I don't see why we have to put a stop on that type of celebration where we do it every year. So we need to recognize that we have a Italian American community here in Salem, and we need to celebrate the same way we celebrate other cultures. So I'm in favor of that, and I think we should all be happy that we can be able to celebrate the Italian American during these days. Thank you.
Thank you, Counselor Morcillo.
Thank you, Madam President. I celebrate Italian Americans every day. I'm married to one. My children are part Italian. I'm Irish. My question to the group, and this we go through this discussion every year, is Irish American Heritage Month is the month of March. Yet we bring in an order, or an order is brought in for 3 days, between 1 and 3 days, not 2 weeks. The question that comes up every time is, how come one nationality has a flag raised for X number of days and the other has the flag raised for Y? Last year, after this whole discussion in November, I had comments from constituents saying, what about my flag, the Greek flag? What about my flag, the Israeli flag? What about all the French Canadians that were here from day one? What about people from Poland? There are so many nationalities, and it feels like this body has some sort of inside baseball with certain groups, and I'm not accusing anyone. It's just, there's so many nationalities here, and I feel like this is why an order was sent to government services last year to look at the calendar and come up with some rules that are equal, that do treat all the nationalities, all the people in Salem who would like their flag to be raised and celebrate their nationalities, to treat them equally. And I think we'd have less of a conversation in City Council about issues like how long someone's flag is up at Riley Plaza, which to me is needlessly contentious, feels a little bit political, and that's just my opinion. I don't need to get into a whole argument about that, but I will point out the differences in how long flags are raised. You could certainly make the case that for Hispanic Heritage Month, where we're talking about many, many, many different countries, that sure, leaving that up longer is fine. But this is really a discussion that needs to go to government services so that we can have some sort of guidelines, so it doesn't turn into one nationality asks for a month, one asks for a week, then someone else gets annoyed because nobody ever flies their flag. This is a silly thing. We're all in the United States. We're all in Salem. We all love Salem. And we're turning this into a conflict, which should not be happening. Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you. Counselor Sargent.
Thank you, Madam President. If we are to make a decision on how many days, all flags fly when they're asked, I would suggest that somebody bring in an order to do that thing. This isn't such an order. We've always accommodated any group that's asked. We had never flown the Greek flag, but last year I was approached by somebody of Greek descent because it was 200 years since the Greek nation threw off the yoke of Ottoman rule, and it made sense. And so I brought in an order asking to raise that flag for the amount of days that they were asking for. So in this case here, the Italians are asking for 14 days. Other people fly a flag for a month. So this isn't outside of any of the norms that we've done. It's Italian American Heritage Month, not asking to fly the flag for the whole month, asking to fly it for 14 days. Graciously, the Hispanic people are willing to share. We share in many other things. We put up the Christmas celebration lights for Christmas season and the menorahs side by side right there. Nobody says one's better than the other or one's up longer than the other. We basically we celebrate things the way people asked us to do. My only thing is always that the American flag fly a little bit higher than any other flag, as it's the custom to fly the American flag. So I don't think this is out of the ordinary, and I certainly support it. Thank you.
Thank you. Councilor McCarthy.
Thank you, Madam President. I respectfully ask the Ward 4 councilor, as he indicated in his order when he brought it in, to amend the dates. Obviously, the Hispanic Heritage Month ends on October 15th. So if he could amend his order in such a way to move it so there is no overlap, and let, as all indicated, let government services come up with some sort of plan, because this is just going to keep spiraling if everyone keeps wanting to fly flags, which is, they're good recognitions of the culture of all heritages that have made Salem what it is over the years. And I'm not going to sit here and pick and choose of which one's more important or less important. But in order to A, respect Hispanic Heritage Month, and B, get away from the potential of a conflict, I would just ask for a friendly amendment to change the dates in such a way that we can avoid that. Thank you.
Thank you. Councilor Flynn.
Thank you, Madam President. I agree with the good Ward 1 councilor. Like I said, I was very careful not to fly it on that day, to pick that specific day of Columbus Day. But yeah, I would amend that if we could go from the 15th to the 25th, which would be outside of the other dates, so they don't contradict. That would be fine. I would be willing to amend that. Thank you.
Councilor Flynn, do you mean 16th, so there's no overlap?
Did good Ward councilor say it ended on the 14th or the 15th?
The 15th.
Okay, then the 16th to the 26th, if that's all right, my amendment.
Councilor Flynn moves to amend the date of the flag raising from October 16th to 26th. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Councilor Dominguez. All those in favor? Oh, wait.
Madam President?
Under discussion, sorry. Councilor DeVoe.
Thank you, Madam President. I see no harm in one stopping on the 15th and the other one starting on the 15th. That way there, we're saving city labor by being able to lower the flag of one nation and then raising the other flag right away instead of coming back a second day. It just makes sense while the rope is down, put another flag on, raise it back up again. It's kind of a nice transition from one ethnicity to another. So I'd recommend that we keep it on the 15th as Councilor Flynn graciously amended to, instead of doing it one more day late, because then we're going to double the amount of work by city crews to do this. So I'd suggest that we just keep it on the 15th to the 22nd.
So would that mean Hispanic heritage flags fly for half of the day and then Italian flags fly for the rest of the day?
That'd be correct, and it would be a nice savings of manpower.
The flag will come down at noon and then go back up?
Well, I'm not specifying what time. It'll be what time the city crews get to there to switch them. Why go 2 days in a row? Doesn't make sense.
I think this is why we need guidelines. Councilor Flynn, do you accept that amendment?
Yes, I accept that friendly amendment.
Okay.
Madam President,
Counselor Sargent.
just to clarify, so it'd be from the 15th to the 26th, and that was 20 be the end date. Right. Thank you.
15 to the 26th. Any further discussion on the amendment? 15 to the 26th. Counselor Riccardi.
Thank you, Madam President. I wanted to comment earlier, but I'll just comment now. I want to thank the good work for Counselor for being open to the amendment for the dates. I think it does work out better this way. But I also would like to respectfully ask that order from this time last year be taken up at government services, so we are not spent discussing flag raising and staff services during these meetings. I feel like it could just be a much better workflow as we've discussed, and I agree with most comments that have been said tonight. So I really feel that, just like with parking, we improved our discussion from last year, and we're getting better each year with our communication and our process. And I think there's definitely additional room for improvement with our processes here as well. Thank you.
Thank you. Any further discussion on the amendment? See none on the amendment. All those in favor? The 11 hands. All is opposed. The dates are amended to October 15 to 26. On the motion to adopt by roll call vote, Madam City Clerk, please call the roll.
Counselor Torrio.
Yes.
Counselor Sargent.
Yes.
Counselor Riccardi.
Yes.
Counselor Kwasniewski.
Yes.
Counselor Marcillo.
Yes.
Counselor McCarthy.
Yes.
Counselor Hapworth.
Yes.
Counselor Flynn.
Yes.
Counselor Dominguez.
Yes.
Counselor Dibble.
Yes.
And Counselor Madore.
Yes. On the order to raise the Italian flag at Riley Plaza from October 15th to the 26th, we have 11 councilors voting, 11 affirmative, none negative. The matter carries. Committee reports.
Hold on.
Madam President.
All right, there is a late file. Counselor Terrio.
Thank you, Madam President. City of Salem City Council ordered that a public hearing for the petition submitted by National Grid to install a supervisory control and data acquisition system in the public right-of-way be held at our next regular council meeting on September 23rd, 2021. This installation is located at the intersection of Harbor and Washington Streets across from number 3 Harbor Street. And I move that a public hearing be held at our next meeting.
Counselor Terrio moves that public hearing be held on September 23rd. All those in favor? I see 11 hands. All opposed? Mayor, any further orders, motions, resolutions? Seeing none, committee reports. Counselor Marcillo.
Thank you, Madam President. City of Salem and City Council, September 9th, 2021. The Committee on Ordinances, Licenses, and Legal Affairs, to whom was referred the matter of 2 Tag Day requests, has considered said motion and would recommend that they be granted.
On acceptance of the report, all those in favor? See 11 hands. All those opposed? Seeing none, matter carries. On adoption of the recommendation, any discussion?
No discussion.
None. All those in favor? The 11 hands. All those opposed? The matter carries. Further committee reports. Councilor Dominguez.
Thank you, Madam President. The Committee on Community Economic Development, to whom the matter was referred of the former Ward 2 Club and related issue, has considered and said the matter, and we recommend that the matter remain in committee.
On acceptance of the report, all those in favor? See 11 hands. All those opposed? The matter carries. On adoption of the recommendation, Councilor Dominguez.
Yes, we made on the date of the Committee of the Whole. We feel that was a very productive meeting where we have the city solicitor and building inspector, and we discussed some of the recommendations, and we feel at the end that we need to keep it in committee so we can continue to discuss further and bring some actions to the matter. So the matter will be back in committee as it was specified, and some of the actions need to be addressed. Is still working on some of the area. Thank you, Madam President.
On Councilor Dominguez's recommendation to keep the matter in committee, all those in favor? Oh, Councilor Dibble has a comment. Councilor Dibble.
Thank you, Madam President. I'd just like to thank the good at-large Councilor Dominguez for holding a good meeting. I drove by there the other day, and the sidewalk was replaced, the fence was pushed back, and a portion of the pond that was created from the foundation was filled in, but the whole area is still infested with mosquitoes, and I'm troubled to see that the balance of the foundation pond, that I'll call, is still swarming with mosquitoes. It's really too bad for that whole neighborhood to have to go through this, and I apologize that it's happening, from the city. And I'd like to hopefully see the city put some pressure on the owner of the property to finish the work of demolition of the club by filling the whole hole to get rid of the mosquito breeding area. Thank you, Madam President.
Thank you. As the councilor of the Ward 2, I feel that it's important that I clarify that the mosquitoes are in fact not coming from the foundation, the water from the foundation, which has now have been filled completely. We had Northeast Mosquito Control come out and inspect the entire area, and they found that it was a marsh area behind the property that had mosquito infestation, and they have further treated it with larvicide and will keep it on their inspection list. So they will come back regularly, inspect that marsh area. So sidewalk has been repaired, renovated, and hot top laid down on it, and the foundation has been filled. And I provided this update on my Facebook page when all the work has been done. So I just feel that we need to clarify that the mosquitoes are not from that hole, which has now been filled. It's actually from the marsh. And so with that, any further discussion? Seeing none, on Councilor Dominguez's recommendation that the matter be kept in committee, all those in favor? I see 11 hands, all opposed, 10 hands, the matter carries. Further communications from city officials.
The following order was submitted by the city solicitor, that in order that the mayor is hereby authorized to execute on behalf of the city of Salem an amendment to an easement agreement with Valville LLC as set forth in the attached agreement as is shown on the attached plan entitled Utility Easement Exhibit for Loring Ave.
Councilor Marcello.
Thank you, Madam President. I move for adoption by roll call vote.
Councilor Marcello moves for adoption by roll call vote. Under discussion.
Thank you, Madam President. The backup documentation that came with the meeting went through the request and why it's important for them to have this easement to get the utilities there. That's it.
Any further discussion? Councilor DeVoe.
Thank you, Madam President. This project is located in Ward 7, way down by the Swampscott border, pretty much. And this easement is needed to gain access for utilities to go to the building itself. And it travels next to and through an easement that were already granted by the City Council some time ago, that we are receiving taxes on. And this is something that I can easily support, because this is a section of land that we're probably never, ever going to use, but it's needed in order to get utilities into the property. So I'll be voting in support of this, Madam President. I encourage everybody else to as well.
Thank you. Any further discussion? Seeing none, Madam City Clerk, please call the roll.
Councilor Torrio?
Yes.
Councilor Sargent?
Yes.
Councilor Riccardi?
Yes.
Councilor Presnewski?
Yes.
Councilor Marcello?
Yes.
Councilor McCarthy?
Yes.
Councilor Hepworth?
Yes.
Councilor Flynn?
Yes.
Councilor Dominguez?
Yes.
Councilor Dibble?
Yes.
Councilor Madore?
Yes. On adoption of the easement, we have 11 councilors voting, 11 in the affirmative, none in the negative. The mayor carries. Further communications from city officials.
We have the following recommendation that was submitted by the planning board on the gender-neutral zoning ordinance.
Counselor Marcelo.
Thank you, Madam President. I move that this be received and filed.
Counselor Marcelo moved that this be received and filed. All those in favor? The 11 hands. All those opposed, the matter carries. Further communications from city officials.
Now we have to adopt the zoning ordinance for first passage.
Counselor Marcelo.
Thank you, Madam President. I move for adoption for first passage by roll call vote.
Counselor Marcelo.
Should I read through it, actually?
Move to waive the reading.
Thank you.
Counselor Marcelo moves for adoption for first passage by roll call vote. Under discussion.
Thank you, Madam President. This is, as we said a few weeks ago, this is just cleaning up the gendered language in the zoning ordinance. And since we were having the public hearing for a couple other things, we decided to add this also. And the, as you saw, the planning board agreed that this should be done.
Thank you. Any further discussion? Seeing none, Madam City Clerk, please call the roll.
Counselor Torio?
Yes.
Counselor Sargent?
Yes.
Counselor Riccardi?
Yes.
Counselor Kwasniewski?
Yes.
Counselor Marcello?
Yes.
Counselor McCarthy?
Yes.
Counselor Hepworth?
Yes.
Counselor Flynn?
Yes.
Counselor Dominguez?
Yes.
Counselor Dibble?
Yes.
And Counselor Madore.
Yes. On adoption of the zoning amendment for first passage by roll call vote, we have 11 counselors voting, 11 affirmative. The matter carries. None negative, the matter carries. Further communications from city officials.
We have the following recommendations submitted by the planning board for the temporary moratorium on new construction within the buffer zones of a wetland or on a floodplain.
Counselor Marcelo.
Thank you, Madam President. I move that this be received and filed.
Counselor Marcelo moved that this be received and filed. All those in favor? I see 11 hands. All those opposed, the matter is carried. Further communications from city officials.
And you have the zoning ordinance to adopt or not.
Counselor Marcelo.
Thank you, Madam President. I move for adoption for first passage by roll call vote.
Counselor Marcelo moves for adoption for first passage by roll call vote. Under discussion.
Thank you, Madam President. Back on July 14th, when we had our joint public hearing, we heard from several people, both pro and con, and the planning board went back and had their discussion and returned with a recommendation to not pass this. I think it was a pretty full discussion that we had at that meeting, and I think that as a body, we're ready to vote on it.
Thank you. Any further discussion? Counselor Terrio.
Thank you, Madam President. I just want to ask a question for clarification on this to make sure we all vote correctly. I don't see the need for much discussion, but is the vote on this to adopt the planning board's recommendation, which would be to say which their recommendation is to not adopt, or is this for a straight motion for adoption?
Thank you, Counselor Terrio. A yes vote means to adopt, and a no vote means to not adopt.
Thank you.
Madam City Clerk, can you just confirm that's okay? Yeah. Counselor DeVoe.
Thank you, Madam President. I'd like to move that this matter be referred to committee so we can have a discussion about this, that clearly that no building permits be issued. That would cover all inclusive of everything, as I discussed when this was before us some time ago. So putting a staircase, putting an addition on the back of your house, single family house, on and on, that was clearly not the intent of what came before us. I think that we should at least take an attempt to have a discussion on this to see if it might be applicable to simplify this, because the goal of this, we're strictly talking about larger, much larger development projects. So I'd like to have the opportunity with my fellow councilors to have a discussion on this in committee. So I move that the matter be referred to the Committee on Ordinances, Licenses, and Legal Affairs, co-posted with the Committee of the Whole.
Dibble moves to refer the matter to Committee on Ordinances, Licensing and Legal Affairs, co-posted to Committee of the Whole, seconded by Councilor Dominguez. Under discussion. Seeing no further discussion on the motion to refer to the committee, co-posted. All those in favor? 1, 2, 3, 4 hands. All those opposed? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 hands. The matter is not referred. On the motion to adopt for first passage by roll call vote, any further discussion? Seeing none, again, a yes vote is to adopt the moratorium, a no vote is to not adopt the moratorium. Madam City Clerk, please call the roll.
Councilor Torrio.
No.
Councilor Sargent.
Yes.
Councilor Riccardi.
No.
Councilor Kwasniewski.
No.
Councilor Marcillo.
No.
Councilor McCarthy.
No.
Councilor Hapworth.
Nope.
Councilor Flynn.
Yes.
Councilor Dominguez.
Yes.
Councilor Dibble.
I'm going to say present.
Councilor Madore.
No. On the motion to adopt a temporary 2-year moratorium for construction within buffer zones of wetland or floodplain, we have 11 councilors voting, 7 in the negative, 3 in the affirmative, 1 present. The matter is not adopted. Further communications from city officials.
We have a communication from the Veterans Agent to have Sherwin Square moved to the corner of Wisteria Street and Ocean Ave.
Councilor Hapworth.
Thank you, Madam President. I move this be referred to the Committee on Government Services, co-posted with the Committee of the Whole.
Councilor Hapworth moved that this be referred to the Committee on Government Services, co-posted with Committee of the Whole. All those in favor? See 11 hands. All those opposed? The matter is referred. Petitions.
We have a petition from Comcast to install conduits on Bridge Street.
Hearing order September 23rd, 2021. Further petitions.
We have a petition from National Grid to install conduits on Bridge Street.
Hearing order September 23rd, 2021. Further petitions.
We have a petition from National Grid to install conduits on Loring Ave.
Hearing order September 23rd, 2021. Further petitions.
We have a petition from the residents of Fairfield Street to hold a block party on October 9th, 2021 from 10 a.m. to 10 p.m.
Councilor Terrio.
Thank you, Madam President. I move this be granted.
Councilor Terrio moved that this be granted. Under discussion.
No discussion. Fun neighborhood event.
Any further discussions? Seeing none. On Councilor Terrio's motion to approve, all those in favor? I see 11 hands. All those opposed? Seeing none, the matter carries. Further petitions.
Request from Adam Fitch and Matt Richard to hold the Salem Zombie Walk on October 2nd, 2021.
Councilor Hapworth.
Thank you, Madam President. I move that this be granted by roll call vote.
Councilor Hapworth moved that this be granted by roll call vote. Under discussion.
Just great to see these races coming back, all races of all types, particularly races that the Ward 5 councilor can be competitive in. But just, these are great to see. I enjoy running in all of these races. I've never done the zombie walk, but I'll probably try it this year.
I've never seen a zombie run, but.
Yeah.
Councilor Terrio.
Thank you, Madam President. The zombie walk, it's more of a shamble than a run, because that's what zombies do. But to be serious, this is a really fun event that's been held for many, many years, and I'm really glad to see it back. I've participated in it a number of times in costume and makeup because, you know, what's better to have as a zombie than a city official? So I recommend that all of you come out and watch it, or better still, participate in it. It's a really fun event. Thanks.
Thank you. Any further discussion on zombies? Seeing none, Madam City Clerk, please call the roll.
Councilor Terrio.
Yes.
Councilor Sargent.
Yes.
Councilor Riccardi.
Yes.
Councilor Kwasniewski.
Yes.
Council Marcillo,
Yes.
Council McCarthy,
Yes.
Council Hepworth,
Yes.
Council Flynn,
Yes.
Council Dominguez,
Yes.
Council DeVoe,
Yes.
and Council Madore.
Yes, on approval to hold Salem Zombie Walk on October 2nd, 2021, we have 11 councilors voting, 11 affirmative, none negative, the mayor carries. Further petitions.
We have a request from the Salem Boys and Girls Club to hold a road race, Wild Turkey 5-mile run on November 25th, 2021.
Councilor Hapworth.
Thank you, Madam President. I move for confirmation by roll call vote. I move this be granted by roll call vote.
Councilor Hapworth moves that this be granted by roll call vote. Under discussion?
No discussion, just a great race. You get to go by Councilor McCarthy's house. It's a good time on a Thanksgiving.
Thank you. Any further discussions? Councilor McCarthy.
Thank you, Madam President. I just want to say that I'm happy that this event is coming back. I think that Doug Boland and the Salem Boys Girls Club, this is a big fundraiser for them, and it helps fund the program for Salem youth. And I just think it's wholeheartedly, it's a fun way to kickstart a Thanksgiving morning to get out there before we all head off to the football game. So I think it's a great event, and it's for a great cause, and it benefits the Boys and Girls Club, which in turn benefits the kids of Salem. So I think it's a great event.
Any further discussion? I might have my son run this one this year.
Your son is fast.
Your son is really fast.
Secret
On the
talent.
30th Street Mile, he is fast.
Third place
I know, he's fast.
out of the whole thing, not his age group. All right.
Fast.
On permission for the Wild Turkey 5-mile run. We see no further discussion. Madam City Clerk, please call the roll.
Council Terrio,
Yes.
Council Sergeant,
Yes.
Council Riccardi,
Yes.
Council Krasnowski,
Yes.
Council Marcillo,
Yes.
Council McCarthy,
Yes.
Council Hepworth,
Yes.
Council Flynn,
Yes.
Council Dominguez,
Yes.
Council DeVoe,
Yes.
and Council Madore.
Yes. Approval of the Wild Turkey 5-mile run on November 25th. We have 11 councilors voting, 11 affirmative, none negative. The mayor carries. Further petitions.
We have a petition from the Salem Flea Market to close a small section of Front Street from Washington to Central Street on Saturday, September 18th from 8 a.m. to 7 p.m. to accommodate vendors for social distancing for larger crowds.
Councilor Hapworth. This is more too.
Thank you, Madam President. I move this be granted by roll call vote. I'm sorry, I move this be granted.
Councilor Hapworth moved that this be granted. Under discussion.
No discussion.
I missed this one on the agenda.
I did too.
Madam City Clerk, did they include a description of what the small section is? To be more specific. Don't know how
It's
I-
from Washington to Central.
So, yeah, from Front Street, from Washington Street to Central Street. That's all,
Okay,
all it says on the, letter,
okay.
nothing more.
I don't know how I missed this one. Okay, on Councilor, any further discussion? Councilor Persniewski.
Madam President, the Salem Flea Market has a history of conducting business on Front Street. Very successful event every time they have it. I know a lot of residents look forward to it. I think the reason behind this, obviously, is to spread the crowd out. I'm sure that there will be police officers there monitoring the crowds and the traffic, and we'll be able to facilitate people's movement. So I'm for this 100%.
Thank you. Any further discussion? Seeing none on Councilor Hapworth's motion to approve. All those in favor? I see 11 hands. All those opposed, the mayor carries. Further petitions.
We have a list of license applications for public guide, vehicle for hire taxi operators, vehicle for hire, taxi operators and vehicle for hire operators only.
This goes to page 25, right?
Yes.
Right.
Okay. Councilor Marcelo.
Thank you, Madam President. I move that these be granted.
Councilor Marcelo, move that these be granted. All those in favor? See 11 hands, all those opposed, the matter is granted. And the ones that came in late, did you, Madam Clerk, you had enough signatures?
Yes.
Okay, great. Further petitions.
We have 4 taxi operator license applications.
Councilor Marcelo.
Thank you, Madam President. I move that these be denied.
Councilor Marcelo, move that these be denied. All those in favor? I see 10 hands, all those opposed. I see 1 hand, the matter carries. Further petitions.
We have a request from the following 4 taxi operators for a hearing on the denial of their licenses.
Councilor Marcelo.
Thank you, Madam President. I move that these be referred to the Committee on Ordinances, Licenses, and Legal Affairs to hold an executive session.
Councilor Marcelo, move that these be referred to the Committee on Ordinances, Licenses, and Legal Affairs to hold an executive session. All those in favor? See 11 hands, all those opposed, the matter carries. Further petitions.
We have 3 tag day license applications.
Councilor Marcelo.
Thank you, Madam President. I move that these be referred to the Committee on Ordinances, Licenses, and Legal Affairs.
Councilor Marcelo, move that these be referred to the Committee on Ordinances, Licenses, and Legal Affairs. All those in favor? I see 11 hands, all those opposed, seeing none, the matter carries. Further petitions.
We have 2 drain layer contract operator license applications.
Councilor Marcelo.
Thank you, Madam President. I move that these be granted.
Councilor Marcelo, move that these be granted. All those in favor? I see 11 hands, all those opposed, seeing none, the matter carries. Further petitions.
We have a long list of claims.
A long list. Councilor Marcelo.
Thank you, Madam President. I move that these be referred to the Committee on Ordinances, Licenses, and Legal Affairs.
Councilor Marcelo, move that these be referred to the Committee on Ordinances, Licenses, and Legal Affairs. All those in favor? See 11 hands, all those opposed, the matter carries. Further petitions, final petitions.
We have the following bonds for constable and drain layer operators.
Councilor Marcelo.
Thank you, Madam President. I move that these be referred to the Committee on Ordinances, Licenses, and Legal Affairs and returned approved.
Councilor Marcelo, move that these be referred to the Committee on Ordinances, Licenses, and Legal Affairs and return approved. All those in favor? See 11 hands, all those opposed, the matter carries. Anything else? Seeing none, Councilor Sargent.
Adam, thank you, Madam President. I just want to take a point of personal privilege, if I may.
Councilor Sargent asks for a point of personal privilege. Seeing no objection, Councilor Sargent.
We lost a true Salem guy last week. His name is Ed Kidney. He was the father of Maureen Fisher, our Assistant City Clerk. Ed Kidney was a real and true Ward 2er. He was from the hard-nosed neighborhood of Bridge Street. Bridge Street and the Bridge Street way of life ran to his bones. He cared deeply about his family, his friends, his neighborhood, his job, the Ward 2 Club, and his 1957 Chevy. If you messed around with any of these things, you were definitely going to hear about it from Ed. Most likely face to face. That's just the way it was. Might I say that as a teenager and young man, my friends and I benefited greatly from a few of these face-to-face meetings with Ed. But on the other hand, if family, friends, and neighbors needed help in any way, Ed would be there at your service. There was no better man to have on your side when the going got tough than Mr. Ed Kidney. That was the way things were when you were growing up on Bridge Street in Salem. And no man epitomized that way of life more than Ed Kidney. And that's why we'll miss him so very much. Here's to Ed Kidney, and here's to men like him. Thank you.
Beautifully said.
And I suppose I'll move for adjournment.
Councilor Sargent moves for adjournment. All those in favor? 11 hands. We are adjourned. Good night, everybody.
Good night.
Right.